There we go. I think. There. All right. Welcome back, everybody. I'm using a new thing to unmute and mute myself. So I'm trying all these different things. And I actually tweeted from, it's a stream deck. So we'll see. 80 bad injury? Really? I didn't hear anything. I didn't even know the Lakers played tonight. They did. Oh, they're playing the Jazz. Yeesh. Just happened? Oh, no. I got to catch up. I feel like I just saw something on Twitter. Well, crazy. Dang. That's bad for them. I mean, he's probably their best player right now. Well, sorry I didn't shave. I told you I would shave and I didn't. But anyways. So, we've reached the All-Star break. And the Timberwolves are now 31-28, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, 31-28. So I think that's what we need to remember about tonight, and not the fact that we lost. Because tonight was a rough game, and even when we were winning, it wasn't good. Just overall disappointing game. It kind of felt like last night's game. Like, we just weren't making shots. I think we shot like 41%, maybe 40% or something like that. And from three, it was just atrocious. Let me see. From three, we shot 10 of 42 from three tonight. Not good. Not going to win when you play like that. So I figured today what we would do, we would go over, obviously we're going to do our normal tier list. We're going to maybe watch some highlights. I'm not 100% sure. I don't even have them pulled up, so I guess I'd have to kind of do that. But we'll go over that. Talk about like how we feel right now. Jake Erickson says rip to the game. I hope you're talking about, hopefully not the stream. But yeah, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, join chat. Obviously, it's up on the big screen. You can see it yourself. Just don't say anything too wild. But yeah, so just like the little, people like think of this as like the halfway point in the season. This isn't really halfway because we've played almost 60 games now. And we've only got like 22 or 3 games left. So we really are in the home stretch, We're really near the end. But how was it in the arena tonight? Was it depressing as it was from the TV? I would say for 3 quarters, the crowd was into it. At least where we were, the crowd was really into it. Maybe even more so than last night's game. And going into the fourth, we were ready to be loud. But just like the way the quarter started, every time we had a little run, we'd have like 2 plays in a row. Like, we'd score, get a stop, and then score. But then we couldn't get another stop. It was like ready for people to blow, like it was ready to get loud, but we just never did. So I was there too. Fans definitely wanted something to cheer for. They did. I think the fans were like into it tonight. But also at the same time, the fans left early. Now, when Gary Trent hit that 3 to go up by 10, that obviously was a gut punch and that hurt. But everybody left. We had like 2 minutes left. Everybody left. It was crazy. Yeah, that charge too. This was just we lost by 12, but realistically, this was a close game. This wasn't like, the Timberwolves were dominated or anything like that. I think I expected us to not play up to the level of the Raptors tonight, just because, I don't know, we don't know that much about the Raptors being a West Coast team going up against East Coast teams. We don't have that knowledge unless they're like a top tier team. And honestly, they're probably pretty high in the standings. I guess I haven't really looked, but I expected us to not take it seriously, and right out the gates, we didn't. We were down 24-11 to start the game, so that was really frustrating. And I'm glad I wasn't there. So we were late to the game. Anytime there's a Wednesday game, we're gonna be late because my dad has a practice that he goes to, and then after that we go to the game. So we didn't get there until 7:10, and then we didn't get to our seats until like 7:20 or something like that. So we missed that, but then we came back and we kept it the game. It was kind of like the Charlotte game where like we felt like we were down a lot, but we were still kind of in it for most of the game. But yeah, Godfrey says, you're talking about AD. AD can't jump in the air without injuring himself. Yeah. Sounds like D'Lo. No. Yeah, no, that's not good. That sucks. I haven't seen it yet come through on Twitter for some reason. But the main thing that we are now rooting for is we need Golden State, well, we don't need it, but we want the Golden State Warriors to win against Denver tonight. And it looks like right now they're leading at halftime 63-54. We would love for that to happen, because if that happens, then we're still only a game and a half back at Denver going into the last stretch of the season. Love, love, love that. Jake says time to rest Ant. Yeah, tonight probably was an opportunity. I honestly thought we were going to in the fourth quarter, because Jalen Noel came in with 7 or 8 minutes left, and I was like, okay, Ant must not be coming back. But then he came back with like 6 minutes. I don't know. It was really strange, and he wasn't having a good game. The one thing I will say is that I don't know if this is injury related. I think we might be using that as an excuse at times. Ant looks good and fine out there. He's like moving out. He's like in between plays. He's like doing these things like he's like moving his feet around and stuff, and it looks he's fine. He looks fine. But his shot is not. And I'm not saying he's not tired, because I do think that is playing a factor in all of this. But still, he just doesn't look good. Sorry, my camera's all close to me. But he just doesn't look good. So I think it's just the season is getting to him. He needs a break. I think he's fine injury-wise, but I think he's tired. And I think a lot of players are tired. It sounds like Cat is. But I think Cat right now is looking like the veteran of the team. I mean, he's scoring at will. He's been decent defending wise too. I mean, he's not great, but he definitely seems the most comfortable, and he's not like gassed out there. Like you see Ant, and Ant after a couple plays is just like drenched in sweat, huffing and puffing, hands on hips, and Cat's out there pretty much the whole game pretty decent, which is funny because he doesn't even necessarily look like he's not somebody that has like a lot of tone. Like he's skinnier, but I don't know, just weird. But why did Finch wait to bring in all the starters so late in the fourth? Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about. It's weird. Like he brought him in with like 7 or 8 minutes, and that's after we had given up a lot of points. We had Nas out there. We had Jordan McLaughlin. It's just not. It wasn't good. But Cat and Jaden balling, true. Cat and Jaden tonight were incredible. By far the best 2 players tonight, which is frustrating. And I do need. We will talk about him in the tier list, but Jaden, man. You guys all know that I have not been a big Jaden believer. But he's been great. He truly has been great. And I mean, I'm starting to see the real potential there. I mean, he's just so smooth. There was multiple plays. He did that one like winding layup where he was spinning all over the place. I don't know. He just looks good. And we were talking about it in the Discord. Again, shout out Discord. If he can get his 3 going, and if he's gonna start getting fouls like he has been now, that's looking pretty good. So that would be nice. Wow, the Rockets and the Suns are tied right now at 111. Crazy. But yeah, so okay, AD's injury. How bad are we talking? Are we talking like he's limping off the court, or like he's getting stretchered off the court? Like how? Because I'm still haven't seen anything somehow on Twitter. I'm not looking for it either, but it's crazy. And apparently Chris Paul just got ejected. Video and NBA chat. Okay, I'll check the Discord. Dang, that's crazy. They needed to do something at the deadline. I mean, they're in shambles right now. They are. Well, let's look at the standings. And sorry, I can't pull it up on the screen. I'm not prepared for that. But standings. My goodness, they hit him now that the All-Star game is in the app now. Okay, so they are currently behind us right now. Oh my God. Okay, they are. Everything's different. They're 4 games behind us, and they're probably gonna lose tonight. They're 4 games behind us, and they're in the 9th seed. And Portland's only 2 games behind them. Obviously the Pelicans retooled. They could be getting better. I don't think it's impossible. I know some of you guys didn't think it was possible, but I think the Pelicans could make the playoffs, and I think the Lakers could miss it. They're just not good. And if AD is seriously out for a long, long time, that is not going to be good. Okay, I see it now. Thank you. Let me take a look here. Writhing in pain. I see that. Ooh, yeah, yikes. That looks bad. Well, hopefully it's not anything super, super insane. Just for his sake, obviously. And the Lakers, they just needed to do something at the deadline. They can't do nothing. Well, yeah, but Jaden's been great. I mean, Jaden's been our offense over the last few days, which is kind of insane to say. But Jaden and Towns, realistically, I mean, if we look at everybody other than Jaden and Towns, it's a pretty bad night. It's a pretty terrible night. I mean, D'Lo 8 points, Anthony Edwards 6 points. He didn't even make a bucket tonight. Vanderbilt 4, Beverly 10. You know, he's the only double-digit scorer. Those three, Pat Bev, Towns, and Jaden. Like, you can't win. I'm not gonna go too hard tonight, and like, it was not fun to be at this game near the end, especially. So I'm not going to like hate this game. I'm not gonna go super low, because here's the thing, and the only thing that we really need to remember as Timberwolves fans right now. We are 31-28 going into the All-Star break. We are 3 games above 500. Tonight was not a great night, and it would have been great to be 5 games above 500 right now. But we're not. So, you know, I like, that would have been great, and I would have loved to have that, especially if we could be like a half a game behind Denver, assuming they lose. That would be great. But yeah, 21 more wins. Gerald, I think, you know, we're coming up on the time where that's not even possible. Because how many games do we have left? So we've played what? What have we done here? So 28 plus 31. We've played 59 games. So there's 23 more games. So we got to go, yeah, 21 of 23. Hey, if we do, you better, I mean, you got to put like a bet in for that right now. We got this, yeah. And weirdly, Towns and Jaden would be the ones to lead us there. But 12-11 record to end the season is 43 wins. I think that's probably the most likely outcome. And that's what I said going into the season. I had predicted 43 wins and 39 losses. Or no, I'd not. That was Ashwin. Ashwin said 43 wins. I said 41 and 41. Still could be possible. I mean, both are likely going to happen. I really don't see this team not playing 500 basketball for the rest of the season. Really hopeful that we can come out after this break and just go on a run. And I'm not saying like win 10 in a row or something like that. I'm just saying like play like 700 basketball. You know, you're winning 2, losing 1, win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1. Something to that effect would be really nice. You know, that would be great for us, and that would put us in a great spot. Anthony Davis is getting x-rays on his ankle right now. If his ankle is broken, man, I think the Pelicans have a real shot at making the playoffs. I really do. Pelicans, what did they do tonight? They played, I think, right? Or no, they didn't. Maybe it was last night that they played. They played last night. Either way, man, 500 basketball from here on out is very likely, maybe even worse. Are you saying that would be bad if we were 500? Maybe. Nearly every game we have left is a back-to-back. I saw that. It is insane, our schedule for the rest of the year. Well, our first game back from the All-Star break is a back-to-back. Memphis and then Philadelphia, who I think James Harden will be playing by then. I don't know. Is there a date when James Harden's coming back? I know I saw the 76ers Twitter say something like March 10th or something like that they were looking forward to. But I could see the Wolves not doing that well. For like, are you saying like under 500? I think under 500 would be difficult to do. I mean, I truly, every time the Wolves play, I expect a loss. So, I mean, sure, I say I'm comfortable with the team right now, but like, realistically, I mean, these first 2 games coming out of the All-Star break, that could very well be 2 losses. You know, we could have 2 losses back to back, and then we play the Cavs at the Cavs on Monday. Those are 3 tough games. And then Golden State. So coming straight out, it's a bad one. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4 more back-to-backs, and they all happen in the next month. James Harden comes back Saturday. He does come back against the Timberwolves. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's how it will work out. Well, that could be good. That could be bad. But it's probably going to be bad. We'll see. I mean, Cat plays well against them, and D'Lo played well against them the last time. I honestly, I'm more worried about the Grizzlies than I am the 76ers, weirdly. But, yeah. So, well, it looks like the Suns are going to win, and it looks like the Golden State Warriors are taking a little bit more of a lead. But let's maybe jump into the tier list. I don't feel like doing that long of a show. I want to just recap, you know, everything that's happened tonight, go through all of that, and Gonna do that. I don't think we had a tier list tonight in what's it called? Discord. I should double check though, just to make sure. Because if we did, I want to make sure that I'm appreciating all the hard work that everybody does. Because everybody does too much work. You guys are too nice in the Discord. You're doing too much work. We appreciate it, of course. But yeah, no tier list. Cool. Oh, but I gotta put the tier list up on the screen. Here we go. All right. So we're probably gonna fly through some of the early ones, and then we'll go a little bit longer into like the Jadens. I mean, realistically, Jaden, Towns, and maybe Beverly deserve decent rankings tonight, and everyone else is pretty bad. So let's get started. I'll just go in the order that it's in there. So Jordan McLaughlin, we're gonna be pretty quick on Jordan. Jordan, 2 points, 1 rebound. Took 2 threes back to back or close to back to back. I hated them. I know he was open, but it's like, man, this is just a killer. And I think they were in the 4th. I hated it. Don't love it. I also am not gonna judge him too harshly. Maybe a D. I could almost give him a C because this is kind of what I expect out of him. But we lost, so I think I'm gonna go with a D. Next up, who do we got here? Let's do. Yeah, Gerald, that's kind of where I am. I'm on the fence, and usually when I'm on the fence, if the win or the loss takes us up or down. So Malik Beasley, 6 points, 2 of 11 shooting, 2 of 10 from 3. Man, just a killer. You can't do this. You have to be better by this point in the season. You know, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt all season long. All season long. We are now 3/4 of the season through. And, you know, I think realistically his stats aren't even that terrible. But he's just, let's see what they actually are. Because he has, let's see, what are his stats? So Malik, because my dad and I were talking about this, we're like, his shooting percentage isn't even that bad because all of his shots are threes. But let's see. So he's shooting 37% from the field, not good. And from 3, he's shooting at 35%. So that's not terrible, you know, because all of his shots are basically from 3. But we would obviously hope for him to be like a 40% shooter, especially because he gets so many wide open looks. It's super frustrating. He gets so many open looks. Ant made Beasley look good, so I'd say D for Beasley. How do you say that? Yeah, no. Yeah, oh, I see, because Ant was shot so bad. Yeah, he did. I guess, I don't know. I almost want to give him Juancho because I feel like it took away. I mean, we needed him to make shots tonight, and he didn't. And he had plenty of opportunities to open shots. I love that he's confident and he's going to keep doing that because he is a shooter. It's not like J-Mac or Baby Mac where, like, I don't want him taking shots and he's doing it because that hurts us. I don't know. I guess maybe a D tonight. But, and he's getting, yeah, exactly. He's been down his percentage this season. Yeah. Yeah, no, bad night. Bad night for Beasley. I'm telling you, I want to give him a Juancho, but I guess we're gonna let him slide. He made 2 shots. Next up, who do we got next? I've got this all out of order. Let's do, well, no, actually, we'll probably save these 3 for last because they were the best. We won't go in order for minutes tonight. So, D'Lo, 8 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 of 11 shooting, 2 of 8 from 3. A team high. Nope, not team high. He was -11 on the plus minus tonight, and it felt like it. Bad, you know, just bad game from D'Lo. He did an identical pass to Baby Mac tonight, which was kind of fun, but Baby Mac missed the layup. But yeah, no, just a bad game from D'Lo. I think this is, you know, maybe he needs a break. Maybe Godfrey is just the D'Lo truther, and I just can't accept it yet. But 2 of 11 is Juancho. See, I know that's what I'm trying to say. Pretty bad. You know what? We're gonna make him Juancho, and I don't think he's gonna be there for long. I think D'Lo is going to be joining him in Juancho tier tonight. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. Wilson ball 24 ounces. Spalding ball 27 ounces. I don't judge shooters this year. You know, I guess, but like everybody else is, people are making it, you know, different, like people are capable of making buckets. So D'Lo 7 of 31 in the last 2 games. D'Lo Juancho, thank you, big boy. You're here, welcome. Oh, I forgot to talk about the over under. I filled in the over under late, so I don't know if it counted, but there, I'm looking at the wrong place. Let's see who won. I don't even know who won. X-rays are negative. He's just sprained his ankle. Anthony Davis, that is. Let's take a look. So the over-unders tonight, as always, great job. Shout out the big boy. Over-unders tonight were Karl Anthony Towns, over or under 2.5 made threes. He only had 2 tonight, so he was under. Jaden over 9.5, or Jaden over under 9.5 points. He was over tonight by a lot. I wish I could start betting on Prize Picks. They only do like the main players. He was over with 18 points tonight. Pat Bev under or over 2.5 steals and blocks. He had under. I was thinking that I don't actually remember what I put. Raptors over under 13.5 offensive rebounds. They only had 9, which is interesting. Because I believe, as the big boy said, let me pull it up here. Toronto is number 2 in offensive rebounds. We're actually number 3. Interesting stat. Shout out the big boy. Appreciate all that. D'Lo late going. Yeah, that too. He had turnovers. How many turnovers did D'Lo have tonight? He only had 1. But still, it's still a Wancho night. It was so bad. Bad night, and I don't really want to talk about his bad night because it was so bad. I just hope that he can come back after this break and be better, because he's calling out the fans for being quiet. Realistically, there was no reason for fans to be loud tonight, and they were pretty loud in the stadium. At least it felt like that. All right, next up, who do we got? We got Vando. Kind of a nothing game from Vando. You know, he had 4 points, 4 rebounds, or 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He had that nice block. That was cool. But that's pretty much it. You know, he's been lackluster. You know, him and Noel, both of them get coached a lot by the other players and by by Finch himself. It seems like they're just out of place and they're just not doing things right. It seems like their ability, their like physical ability, keeps them on the court and gives them opportunities and like scoring or hustle or whatever it is. But it's like they get played off the court because they just are behind. You know, it seems like there's a knowledge gap there, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just they're new players or young players, but it's just a struggle. It seems like they're just like rookies, you know. But I wouldn't say this is like terrible game from him, but it's definitely less than we expect. So I don't think he took away from the team, but I do think it was a bad game, so he's getting a D tonight. Next up, Anthony Edwards. Get your grades in for Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards played 31 minutes and scored 6 points. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 of 8 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3, 3 personal fouls, a turnover. He made all of his shots, or he made all of them. He was 6 of 10 from the line, but he got to the line 10 times, so that's nice. This was a bad game. Ant equals Gupta tier. Got minutes, did nothing. Yeah, that is true. The title is wrong. What did I do? I don't know what I did. And to be honest with you, 6 cents, if I messed it up, I don't know if I care. I do think it's Wancho, but, you know, and the only reason I'm saying that there's any kind of a but to this situation is I just don't think he should be playing. I don't care if he's dedicated and he's motivated and he's like this hard, you know, like obviously we want players like that, but I don't want him playing right now. Take a rest. Clearly not doing anything anyways. Insane. Does it say Wolves versus Hornets? My bad. I could probably change that actually real quick. But yeah, you know, we just can't have. And I'm glad that we're at this point now where it's the All-Star break and we don't have to care as much. Like we can rest, we can do all of that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he should play or not? I assume you think he should not play. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know. No reason for him to play. There we go. I changed the title. But thank you for the heads up. You know, honestly, it was similar to last night, so it didn't even need to change it. But I do think it's Wancho, and I think that's partially on this coaching staff. I think Ashwin had a great point on Twitter tonight. I don't know if you got an answer from Britt, but I think you had responded to Britt, and asked him, like, why are we playing him? Is this like an Ant thing? Like, we're letting him just force his way in? I don't know if he's injured. Like I said earlier, I don't necessarily think that his play is because of injury, but it's more so, like, he just seems gassed at times, and it's like, if he's gassed, just give him a break. And if he's not contributing anything, give him a break, you know? I don't know. It's just like you can't have him go out there and make 6 points. It's not like even when Towns has bad games, he's out there scoring, you know. And sure, sometimes it takes away from us. Not lately, but like he's out there scoring. He's producing something. Ant's not producing anything. So rest him for the All-Star break. I wish that he wasn't playing in the Rising Stars game, but the good news about that is that it shouldn't be too insane. God, if he gets injured during the All-Star break, though, like that's gonna be so frustrating. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I'll be so mad. The difference between yesterday and today was you won yesterday, true, and I'm sorry you lost because we didn't even play that great. We actually we turned up in the fourth quarter. I think he feels good at the start of the game, but when he does one explosive move, that might be true. That you might have some truth there, because it does seem like the minute that he'll go for like a dunk or he'll go for like a drive, and if he gets stuffed or it doesn't work, it seems like he seems like he saves one explosive play per game, sometimes early, sometimes late, and if he's shooting well, then he'll continue to shoot his threes. He just doesn't like driving, so that's too bad. That's too bad. But yeah, he's Wancho tonight. It's a bad night. Can't have one of your star players do that, regardless of if he's, even if he's like the star player of your team, you can't have him go for 6 points and play him over 30 minutes. So next up, the three best players of the night: Pat Bev, Jaden, and Kat. We'll do Pat Bev first. So Pat Bev got a technical before the game. I did not see it in person because I was not in my seat yet, but that was insane to see. But he had 10 points, 3 rebounds, or 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 of 5 shooting. Didn't really do that much. Did have 5 personal fouls. Instigator tonight. Yeah, it was okay. This is close to what I expect from Pat Bev, though, so I'm probably going with a C. Probably going with it. Unless you guys have any insight. Me at the game, it seemed like he was fine. I have more confidence in his shot than a lot of other players right now, so I kind of want him to be taking more shots. But obviously, to be successful and to be like a playoff successful team, we got to have Ant, we got to have D'Lo, and we have to have Kat all on at the same time. And clearly, we don't have that. So, close to a B maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just overall tonight we weren't that great. He was definitely one of the top 3 players tonight, but. And I guess that's probably why I'll put him in C. This is a close game to what I expect from him. Obviously, his energy, effort, drawing charges. He should have gotten that charge call late in the game. But he didn't do anything crazy to say, oh, wow, this is a better game than normal from Pat Bev. So I'm going to go with C. Yeah. Next up, Jaden. So I talked about Jaden a little bit earlier. I don't know if I can hate on Jaden anymore. And I mean, I've never hated on him. But Jaden is he's playing too well. He has kept us in a lot of games. And if we don't have a Jaden tonight, I mean, we're getting blown out probably, 18 points, 7 rebounds, a steal, assist, a block, 6 of 13 shooting. He was 1 of 7 from 3. He, though, was also somebody that lately I've felt more confident with shooting threes. I don't know why, because I think he shoots the same pretty much all the time. Got to the free throw line a few times tonight. Only had 3 personal fouls. Did have 3 turnovers. The turnover thing, the thing for Jaden, every player has things that they need. But if Jaden could figure out 3 things. 1, staying out of foul trouble. He has done that recently. 2, 3-point shot. Has not really done that so well. I mean, like I said, I feel more confident in him, but yeah. And then 3, if he could limit the turnovers, because he's a little sloppy when he's dribbling. Lately, I've had a little bit more confidence in him, but still, he's so long and lanky that it's just easy to kind of poke your hand in and get steals, But this was a great game from Jaden. I gave him A1 last night. I think that was probably too high. I think it's just more of my expectations. I as I've said, I'm just not a huge Jaden believer, but every game he's changing my mind. Every game I'm getting closer. So tonight, I don't know if it was A tier. It was. I don't know. Let's see. Gerald says, B tier McDaniels. I have upped my expectations, but I don't like his 3 still. He only makes catch and shoot 3s. Yep, that's true. And he still travels a little bit too. It's got that Gorgie travel thing going on. But yeah, I'd probably say a B. This is probably a high B though. I would say it's a B plus because I think this was a good night. A good night for him. We lost though, but was that his fault? Probably not. He probably doesn't have much of any part in that loss. Um, but yeah, he'll get a B. And next up, our only All-Star, Karl-Anthony Towns, who will be busy this All-Star weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. Karl-Anthony Towns, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. 9 of 14 shooting. Again, a game where probably could have used some more cat shooting. 2 of 3 from 3, 4 of 5 from the line. 3 personal fouls, 2 turnovers. He was in there 34 minutes, so he was in there for the bulk of the game. But interesting to see what you guys said. Hard to win the game when Jaden is the second highest scorer. True. C plus for Cat. Interesting. It's almost exactly his season average. That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Towns. Like I said earlier, he's always going to produce. You never have to worry about whether or not he's going to produce for you. It's more of whether or not he's going to actively take away from the team with the things that he's doing. I didn't notice anything tonight. Like last night, he had multiple, like 3 or 4 times where he did behind the back passes or just egregious like charges and weird stuff. It's funny. They posted that video on the Timberwolves Twitter saying like they were posting the Hornets announcer, the guy that goes crazy all the time. They were posting it like when Towns had an open 3 near the end of the game and he screams, "No!" Funny enough, I did the opposite. I was like, "Yes, take the contested 3." And then he drives into the paint and does these weird dribble moves like he's Magic Johnson again. And I was like, then I said no, and then he made it. But no, I don't think this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Eric Collins. I think is that the announcer? Yeah, the guy that said Troy Daniels, "How do you do?" Yeah, whoever that is. It wasn't Del Curry. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, you got to see it. It's on the Timberwolves Twitter. I think I might have posted it in the Discord too. I can't remember, but it's pretty hilarious. But I don't think Towns was a C tonight. I mean, I guess I have felt better about Towns. I do wish he had more shots. And there's a part of me now that's starting to, like, again, it's creeping into my head. I'm not saying that it is a trend. I'm not saying that it is true. But what I'm feeling while watching the games is, like, he was 9 of 14 tonight. But, like, he also had that one time where he had a second left in the shot clock, pump faked it, and passed it. I almost think that he's trying to have that good percentage, Maybe there's a part of him in his mind that he's like, I want to have efficient shots. And I'm not saying that this is, like, some personal, like, he needs to have such a certain percentage at the end of the year. That's not, like, wouldn't surprise me with Cat, but that's not what I'm saying in this particular situation. I think it's more of like he's just trying to make every shot that he takes a high quality shot, and especially when he's out on the 3-point line and he has a low shot clock, he doesn't just want to heave it up there. He wants it to be a quality shot, and if it's not, he's going to pass out, even if that means that there's 0.3 seconds left on a shot clock. That's kind of what it feels like, but it is something that I've been paying attention to recently. Because 9 of 14, I mean, he took 26 shots last night. He should have taken a lot more tonight. So frustrating, but I don't know. I think this is a pretty good game from Cat. And even though his stats are close to his season average, I mean, he was the only one out there really doing productive things for us, and it's feeling like an all-star when he comes in now. When he comes into the game, he is making buckets. He's making threes, he's making twos, he's driving, and I still don't love his drives, but like he's making things happen, and typical kind of Minnesota, like he's finding open shooters at times too, and they're just not making it. So I'm not gonna give him a B. I'm not gonna give him a C. I am gonna give him a B. I think Towns is gonna get probably a B, maybe a B plus for me tonight. But him and Jaden are pretty close. I mean, they both were better than I expect. Because like I said, Towns I expect to get the numbers, but I don't always expect him to be so level-headed. I thought tonight he was. I was sitting in a different seat tonight, so maybe it was different perspective, but I felt like it was decent. Yeah. This makes me want to watch the Hornets more. I love the reaction. Yeah, see, it's pretty funny. Seems like there are times when Cat can choose whether to go to work or pass, and he chooses to pass. Yeah, he does that, and he takes a long time to do it. It's the same criticism that Ant was giving him early in the season. He just waits for the double, and then he has a double, and he doesn't, like, dribble it out to the 3-point line and pull people with him. He just, like, holds on. He's just, like, he's falling out of bounds, and he just has to make some crazy pass. And, Cat doesn't have, like, the longest arms either, so it's easier for defenders to get in there. But yeah, B below Jaden. That's what Jake Erickson said. Maybe I could maybe go with that. because we probably expect less from Jaden. I think that makes sense. But they're pretty close, I still think. This wasn't a good Cat game. Back to some of my earlier criticisms that I will choose not to repeat. I see, Ashman, I don't necessarily feel that way. Maybe it was just me being at the game and not hearing like the commentators or seeing things how you see them on TV. I didn't feel like it was that terrible game. I feel like when he comes in now, he takes over. Not like fully. Like obviously we're not having like some like Kobe type player come in or MJ or obviously, but like I feel like he comes in and he does something. But maybe I have low expectations. No, yeah, I feel decent. I'm gonna give him a B. I think this was better than I expect from him. So I'm, oh my god, I'm so watching from now on. That dude's crazy. You gotta look up if it is Eric Collins, look up the call that he made for Troy Daniels' game for them. It's hilarious. You gotta watch the Troy Daniels one. He is just, I think Troy Daniels hits like 7 or 8 threes or something like that. It's insane. It's lame to use the term, but Cat only does good in the flow of the offense, like Finch says. He can't create and does, yeah. And see, that's what I was kind of saying about his drives. Like I don't necessarily love his drives, but he's good if you plug him in as a shooter. That's what my thought process is, I guess. I like him as a shooter. I want him to take more shots. I think the end of the game against the Hornets was a great example of what I want Towns to be. Not the driving, but the shooting. I mean, he was just taking confident long threes that he can make. I think he can make that at a 30-40% clip. So even if it is defended, just take it. I think those are good shots. And obviously, if you're off, then you're off. But like, I don't know. I feel like that's decent. And to have that be a part of the offense, and we need Ant to be on, we need D'Lo to be on. We can't have them off like they've been. Just what we need, So I don't know. But anyways, so kind of a quick show. If you're new here, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if we're going to do any shows during the All-Star break. We might take a break. I might take a break, take a mental breather. But the Timberwolves are 31-28, 31-28, I should say. We are in the 7th spot pretty comfortably. I think we're a couple games ahead. Let me take a look at it again. I think we're a couple like 2 or 3 games above the Clippers. Let me see. We are 2.5 games above the Clippers right now. We are 4 games above the Lakers, and we are 6 or 7 games above the Portland Trailblazers. So I don't think we're gonna go that far. I mean, I do think that the Clippers could be getting PG back. Lakers just lost AD, so I just don't think that they're going to make a ton of noise. I think they could stay in the 9 seed, maybe move up to the, I don't know. I don't think they can. It would take bad losses from us, which could happen, but it would also take a lot of winning from them. They're 5 games under 500, 21 more wins. Yeah. So here's what I'll say. My digital diary, my digital Timberwolves diary, which is what this stream is. I am hoping. So I'm sitting on Santa's lap right now, and I'm asking myself, what do I want for season? The last quarter of the season. For the last quarter of the season, I want above 500 basketball. If we play above 500 basketball, I'll be happy. With our schedule, realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if we unfortunately end under 500 though. Oh, just for the rest of the season, not just like the last couple games. Those back-to-backs are going to kill us and drain us for the playoffs. Yeah, the one thing I will say is that it looked like a lot of those back-to-backs were in this next month. So the last month of the season didn't have so many back-to-backs. I don't know if we have any last month. But yeah, that will hurt. And I think we do need to take breaks as needed. Like if we need to have Ant off for a night, take a night off. Seriously. So prediction-wise, so this is where I'm going to maybe post this if it's true or really, really false. Where do I think we're going to be? I think there is a chance that we could get into the 6th seed. It really would depend on how Dallas and Denver play for the rest of the season. But I think that if we play above 500 basketball, which would be difficult, that we could get the 6th seed, which would be really nice to guarantee us a playoff seed. I just don't feel good about playing games right now. I would feel better if we were the 7 or 8 seed, but I think our floor though. This is dangerous to predict a floor for the Timberwolves. I think our floor. I think our absolute bottom, like we are terrible. Like we win 25% of our games. I think with that would be the 9 seed. I don't think we can go lower than 9. It would be insane to go all the way to the 10 seed. I don't think we're out of the playoffs. I mean, we're a full like 8 games above the 11 seed. So I think we're pretty confident there. I would say that my realistic low for us, or what am I trying to say, floor for us, is the 8 seed. I think the Clippers, if they get PG back and go on a run, which they could do, I mean, they got all their new pieces too. They're only 2 games below 500. They're only 2.5 games behind us right now, it looks like. Yeah, 2.5 games. So they could make a run. I mean, 2.5 games is nothing, and which is why 2.5 games is good for us, because that's about how far we are. We're 3.5 games, I think, behind Dallas, and maybe after tonight be only a game and a half behind Denver. 7 or 8 seed would be great. I would love to have the 7, because I think if we have the 7 seed, then we probably have home court advantage in those play-in games, both of them then, which would be nice. Let's see. Yes, we need to sit people. Wolves finish 8th seed, lose both play-in games, season over. See, Godfrey. I don't like that, but I feel that right now. I don't feel confident. Even in game 82 with Butler, I felt good about playing Denver. I felt good. And I even felt kind of good about winning some games against the Houston Rockets that year. We only won 1, I think, but I felt good about that too. These games, I don't feel good against. You know, we're playing against good teams. That's the unfortunate thing about who's in the play-in with us. You know, I mean, Dame's going to be back for the Trailblazers. The Lakers could have AD back by then. We don't know what the extent of that injury is. Clippers could be full strength. I don't think Kawhi's coming back, but, you know, Paul George alone coming back is going to wreck us, you know. And even if we make it through the play-in games, then we're playing the Suns or the Warriors. So, yeah. Hey, if we lose the play-in game, we got a shot at the lottery pick. That's true. That would be sad after the season to lose the play-in games. But, which is why, I guess, you know, if you're viewing the play-in, like, obviously we're the 7 seed right now, so normally we'd be in the playoffs. Just no doubt about it, we'd be in the playoffs. So, I don't know. 6th seed optimistic, 7th seed realistic, 9th seed we got problems. Yeah, if we're the 9th seed, man, then if we're the 9th seed, we're making major changes this offseason. I'm not saying changing like the whole team, but like things gotta change. You can't. It's one thing if you make it, let's say you make it to the 6th seed and you get even swept by the Grizzlies or whoever the 3rd seed is. You know, that's sad, but like you made it. You know, you strived, you've made something, and you can kind of retool and come back next year stronger. Even though other teams are going to do the same thing, you can try some things, and like even just playing together, you know, you're going to have more opportunities. So possible, but definitely going to be interesting. Anyways, I think that's all. That's all for me till the end of the All-Star break. I might put out some content during the All-Star break. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get some like free All-Star break highlights or something like that for each player. That would be really difficult though. I don't know if I'm that motivated. So. What's the absolute best case scenario? True, I didn't actually talk about that. We don't talk about that. Best case scenario, we're 6 games back of the 4 seed, so it's not impossible that we could get the 4 seed, but that would mean that the Jazz, the Mavericks, and the Nuggets all would have to not play very well for the rest of the season, and we would have to just go God mode. So I think the 5th seed is a realistic, good best case scenario. It's not impossible. It's pretty impossible. 6 games is pretty hard to come back from. 5th seed is probably the most likely. Most likely ceiling for us. And that would be great. I mean, if we made the 5th seed, I like our chances against the Jazz, the Mavericks, the Nuggets, any of those teams. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not saying that I like a chance at winning a series, but at least making a series of it, I think that's possible. Those are all beatable teams. We're a beatable team too, so... more so than the 7-9. They're 7-10. But the 4 seed, yeah, the 4 seed won't likely. All right. Well, that's my outlook. That's it from me. Check out our Discord. Link's in the bio. Check us out on Twitter. We'll be active on Twitter through there. Let's see. I thought I saw a question in here. Kind of, what's the best case scenario? Well, let me catch up. Oops. Maybe wanted to stream with us. Oh. Yeah, oh, that's right. We did want to do something about that. That was more about when we were hating towns, though. If we get fifth, I'll get a tattoo of cat. Oh my gosh, yeah, seriously. If we get the fifth, if we get the fourth seed, what would I do? I don't know. But, anyways, peace, Cam. Thanks for doing the stream. Sorry for not being there. That's okay. It's a bad one. Bad game. Yeah, maybe we all have to get cat tattoos. We have to get Chucky tattoos. Chucky Anthony. No. We have to get Carlito tattoos. That's what it is. Carlito tattoos if we're the 4th seed. And honestly, I'll gladly get a Carlito tattoo if we're the 4th seed. Yeah. All right. Here's to those Carlito tattoos. If we get 5th, Godfrey needs a D-Lo tattoo. There we go. Okay, Godfrey's getting a D-Lo tattoo. Nose piercing. all of the cosmetic things. Okay. Anyways, I'm done. I'm gonna go play video games now. I should just turn on the stream, play video games on stream. But all right. Good to see you all again. Thanks for hanging out. Check out the Discord. Check out the Twitter. Like the video. Subscribe. And we'll see you maybe not until next Thursday. I will be at that game, so I'll be late again. But anyways, see ya. Intro's the outro. 52 wins. See you next time.